Hey guys, Ashley here from Glow Body Personal Training. This time I am with Riker Man. If you can see his gorgeous blue eyes, they just make me melt. So I wanted to introduce him for the first time. Riker is 9 weeks old. My toddler Gavin gets very jealous when I say Riker Man. He says, "No, Riker Man, no!" So now I have to call him Gavin Man just to make it equal. I'm sure some of you out there can relate to sibling jealousy even at a very young age, but I just wanted to introduce you to him. He is just my little bundle of joy. It's hard to imagine, you know, like he was right there 9 weeks ago. Isn't that crazy? Kind of scary, but anyways, can't stop kissing him. He's going to sit right here and hopefully we're gonna wish for the best. I want to talk to you about exercise and breastfeeding and nursing because I've been getting so many questions coming on that. So I'm just going to address a couple of those questions. I printed them out to keep me on track. The first one, is it safe to diet while breastfeeding? So automatically I would say yes, it is safe to diet while breastfeeding to an extent, to a moderation. But I want to do some research for you. And looking at the Journal of Nutrition, they found two different studies by the same author. The first one was a very, very large study. They looked at women when they lost a moderate amount of weight, which is considered 4.5 pounds per month. 4.5 pounds is 2 kilograms per month if you're somewhere outside the United States right now. So 4.5 pounds per month, moderate amount of weight, zero effect on milk supply. Good news. Then the author went a little bit further, did a more randomized study. So this is a smaller study, looking at women who lost weight rapidly. What's considered rapidly? About 2.2 pounds. May have to be picking him up again. About 2.2 pounds per week. They still didn't see a drop in milk supply. So that is fantastic. Really good news. I just wanted to share that with you, that they have not seen a correlation between calorie deficit, losing weight, and milk supply dropping too. Instead, milk supply stays right where it's at, which is really good. Now, of course, if you are doing some extreme dieting and not eating when you're hungry, please do not do that, mommy. That's when I can only imagine that you're going to see a little bit of drop in your milk supply. So, how does your body do that? Our bodies are made beautifully by God, and even when we are in a calorie deficit, the plasma prolactin concentration continues to go up, which just blows my mind. So when you are losing weight, you are still producing prolactin. It actually increases to make you still continue to produce breast milk. Again, don't take that to the extreme. Eat when you're hungry. I want you nourishing your body with fiber-packed, protein-packed, colorful variety of a diet in order to ensure that you're giving your body all the nutrients it needs to make awesome, healthy breast milk for your baby and just to nourish your own postpartum self. So again, dieting is okay while you're exercising and nursing. You can definitely keep that up to moderation. Next question, how does exercise affect milk supply? This is the one I get the most often. So I looked into 3 different studies on this, cited these studies on my blog if you want to look into the research further yourself. And they looked at women who began exercising at the average recommended date, which is around anywhere from 4, 6, 8 weeks postpartum. They specifically looked at 6 to 8 weeks postpartum ladies who started working out then. And they're working out at a moderate intensity between 3 and 5 days per week. Did not see any drop in milk supply. Again, yes, that's awesome, but I wanted to know more. What about ladies out there who are crushing it and working out at a higher intensity? Now, if you're on my 12-week post-pregnancy Get Your Body Back plan, you're working out 4 days per week at between 50 and 75% intensity. There might be some days though where you're like, Ashley, I really crushed it. I say I was working out at 95% intensity. Well, what happens to your breast milk when you do that? When you work out at very high intensity, I'm talking about 75% to 100%, you will get a slight amount of lactic acid in your breast milk. But this doesn't affect the nutritional bang of your breast milk. The protein, lipid, which is the fat content, the calcium content, are all the same. Calcium, and there's one other thing. And that was it. The calcium, basically carbohydrate, protein, fat content were all the same, even in milk that does have some lactic acid in it. So furthermore, I've read about studies where they looked at women who were very active, consistently active, versus women who were primarily sedentary, non-active women, and they found that there was actually an increase in milk production with the women who are active. Also did an informal study with a bunch of my very fit mommy friends. Thank you if you were the ones who helped me with this. But I did a survey. Hey, has running, has exercising affected your milk supply? And out of all the women who responded, only 2 said it had an effect. The first one said that she found a dip in her milk supply after she ran specifically. So specifically with exercise and running, she found a dip in her milk supply. She said that she remedied this problem simply by nursing before she went on that run. Then she had no problems. The other woman said that she did also had a dip in her milk supply with running, but just after a couple weeks, her body kind of moderated itself and figured out that she's going to be a runner again, and her milk supply came back to a normal, consistency. She wasn't worried about her supply at all. So that's really good news to me, that even when women are working out at higher intensities, they're still finding that their milk supply isn't compromised. So I want to have complete clarity to you now. With my first baby, I nursed, oh, he's almost asleep. I nursed and pumped for almost a year, about 11.5 months. I did a lot of pumping with working full time. I could literally see a difference in my milk in the fridge when it would sit in there, and it would look a little bit less dense. And this is from my post-workout milk. So when I worked out really hard, months 4 on probably, I was working out really hard, I could see a difference in my milk in the fridge. That concerned me. So when I found out that, I looked at a study where they did a 24 hours worth of samples of milk supply from moms that did work out at a very high intensity. They still found that there was no concerning drop in any nutrients at all. So even though it looked less dense to me and I was worried about it, the overall impact, that would be 1 nursing session out of an average of 10 per 24 hours. You're nursing about 10 times each 24 hours. Very negligible effect, and nothing that I'm going to lose sleep over. So on those days when you do crush it and you do go to your 95% max, that's just once in a great while, and still it's just hardly affecting the milk supply there. And that's, when I say density, what that really means in scientific terms, that's the IgA, the immunological gold basically, that's in your breast milk. So you still have IgA in there, it's just very teeny tiny, slightly decreased when you did that all out effort and got a lot of lactic acid in your breast milk. Can't taste the difference. Some moms said that they can taste the difference. Maybe weird that you've ever tasted your breast milk, but I've tasted my express breast milk before just to see if I could taste the difference. I couldn't taste the difference. My baby, when he was a baby, Gavin, never noticed a difference between my working out milk and my didn't work out milk. So I want to share that with you too. I thought it might be helpful. All right. Next thing I want to get to were the bonuses. They found out, studies have found out that when women work out a lot, they have a greater VO2 max, which is your body's ability to process oxygen. They also were able to maintain a lower BMI. Again, not surprised, you have lower % body fat if you work out regularly, and able to consume more calories on a daily basis while they nurse compared to moms who didn't work out. So overall, scientists have agreed that yes, it is very healthy to be a nursing mom who stays active, exercises, and works out on a regular basis. Now, my top 3 tips for moms who plan to exercise, which is you. Yes, it has to be you. If you're watching this video, you gotta be a mom who exercises. So first tip, buy well-fitting sports bras. None that tighten and push and do all kinds of weird things with the girls. Nice fitting sports bras. I really like the ones from Victoria's Secret that have a zip up in the front. I haven't got a pair yet, but I've been Googling about them online, and they're just really easy to take off so you can quickly nurse. But you don't want to get clogged milk glands and end up with mastitis. I can do another video on that if anybody's interested. I have a 3-time experience with mastitis now. But anyways, you don't want to wear sports bras when you're not working out for too long, because it can just push everything too tight and start causing some clogged ducts. So well-fitting sports bra that supports your girls that are bigger than they used to be. That's tip number 1. Tip number 2, pump or nurse right before you exercise. So you really want to empty your breast so there's less jiggling around, so you don't feel soreness while you're working out. And so that if you do plan to go to 100% max, maybe you're 6 months postpartum and you want to go crush a 10K, then you don't have to worry about getting that lactic acid in your milk after you work out. I wanted to say too, the lactic acid is only present between 10 and 30 minutes after your all-out effort. Sometimes it can be present for up to an hour. After an hour, it goes back to normal. So it's really not a lot of time at all to worry about lactic acid being in your milk. Not that it even hurts your milk anyways. So I just wanted to clarify that. Pump or nurse before you work out. And my last step, if your baby is one that you found doesn't want to nurse after you work out, it's probably not the taste of your breast milk that's causing baby to turn away. It's probably the taste of your skin. So I recommend cleaning yourself off, not using a baby wipe. We don't need any fragrance or chemicals on our nipples that baby's mouth might be exposed to. Just gently with some warm water and washcloth, clean off your breast area to get rid of any sweaty, salty residue that's probably on your body, and that's probably the smell and taste that's turning baby away. So those are my top 3 tips for nursing while exercising. If you have any questions, again, I'm happy to answer them. I love getting into what you want to talk about. So leave your comments below and we will attack those questions. And if you want to talk about mastitis, how I personally got over it without antibiotics this time or anything like that, let me know in the comments and we'll get after it. Keep working out, mommy. Keep staying fit. I'm so proud of you. If you like this video, please press subscribe and give me a thumbs up. Bye, guys.